Hello, hello, and thanks for joining me for the most roseate episode of Perfidious Pete Plays XCOM The Long War ever. Why, our team's performance on our last episode has me so upbeat and hopeful that I'm seriously considering wearing my hair in a ponytail, curing the aging witch next door of her hypochondria, and finally asking my curmudgeonly aunt to take me down to Baltimore so I can get that spinal surgery I've been hankering for. Why, if Amanda Bynes and her team of ultimate scrubs can conquer a small UFO without anyone getting their torso exploded, then surely a shattered spine won't be able to keep me down. I just know that with enough gumption and can-do spirit that I'm sure to walk again. Just you wait and see, I'll be walking in no time. Okay, well, that's probably enough of the Pollyanna bullshit, because while I am pretty pleased actually about the outcome of our last mission, this board is sufficient to remind me that there is an Exalt mission lurking just around the corner, waiting to toss young Haley Mills out a window at a moment's notice. And given all the Pollyanna references, I just want to point out, it's a little known fact that Walt Disney actually had plans to chuck Haley Mills out a window and cripple her just so she could deliver a more realistic performance in that movie. Fortunately for Haley, however, she got cast in a Parent Trap shortly before they completed filming, and since there was no way Haley could play both Sharon and Susan in a Parent Trap without the use of her legs, Walt Disney was forced to abandon his plan to basically shatter her spine into a billion pieces. So when it came time to shoot the tearful "your legs don't work anymore" scene in Pollyanna, Disney just lurked off camera and shot her dog. And, you know, say what you want about Disney, shooting a child's dog seems like a pretty cruel thing, but she really turned in a good performance. I mean, I'm pretty sure Haley Mills actually won an Oscar for Pollyanna, so say what you want about Disney's methods, but one thing he did know, he knew how to motivate the talent. And speaking of motivating the talent, that's actually something we should probably undertake ourselves. Although, while I am on the subject of covert ops, before I forget, I want to head back there very quickly. Last time we scanned for Exalt, there were 2 cells. There was one in the UK, which we, I think, thwarted, but there was also one in Germany, which we didn't do, well, we basically did nothing about. So I am going to do an intel scan very quickly, just to... Okay, yeah, see, the German cell is still there.
On Exalt cell locations.
So we're going to need to eradicate that. So let's launch a covert operation. And the question here is, who do I want to send? I mean, we do have a new crop of rookies, some of which actually have pretty reasonable skills here. Old Kieran Gallagher is a pretty solid little trooper for us.
The aliens are probably more than a little upset that we didn't fall in line like they'd hoped.
Okay. Does that explain why they sort of just laid down and died last mission? I mean, one would think that they might behave slightly differently if they were upset. Like, they might fight harder as opposed to sort of surrendering. So, very lady-heavy crew of troopers here. You know what? I think I actually am going to send Kieran Gallagher. He was our... I mean, he's... Apart from having a will score commonly reserved for Lemmings or Belcar Bitterleaf, Kieran's actually pretty solid. So let's go ahead and we're going to adjust his...
help shifting that equipment around. Get some people down there ASAP.
So you're telling me that you need help moving equipment, and you want me, commander of the XCOM project, to come help fucking lug boxes around? What am I, a stevedore over here? I'm not schlepping shit in the barracks. I got guys for that. I mean, I just hired some rookies. Why don't you get one of them to do it? Punk ass asking me to go schlep boxes around like I'm some kind of servant. I should fire you. I mean, I'm gonna fire you. That's a given, but... So let's go with Flashbang, an alien grenade, and a laser pistol here, and we'll just get Kieran off on his way.
Deployed against Exalt position in Germany.
Yes, it's in Germany. Thank you. We were well aware. So we are going to want to keep some of our A-listers aside then for that Exalt mission, which invariably is going to be a 4-man poison pill that I get to swallow. It's going to be like eating broken glass. Should be delightful. Anyway, let's head to mission control. What I would hope to get done is we'd like to see this alien propulsion project get finished so we can start building a firestorm very quickly, although I'm actually not sure we have the money for a firestorm. But let's start scanning, see what we can turn up. 9 sectoid corpses for a scientist. You know what? Yeah, I'll take that deal, actually, China. Scientist's pretty valuable. So let's go ahead and we'll seize on that, and then we'll just get back to scanning. And there's our firestorm research. Fantastic. Alright, so let's get Dr. Valen started on a new project. Now, the Firestorm is available. All that just lets us build Firestorms. Fortunately for us, Jeff Goldblum has been down in the hangar working staunchly side by side with Dr. Oaken so that they can hook a MacBook up to one of these bad boys, fly it to the alien mothership, and defeat the entire invasion with a terrible, terrible plot device. So looking forward to that plan coming to fruition. Should be good. On the downside, though, we don't have a Will Smith in our barracks, so there is actually no one to fly that plane. Perhaps Jaden Smith might fill in for his dad, maybe a little keeping it in the family sort of thing. Delirium Afterburner is actually very interesting. Increasing our engagement time with alien craft would be somewhat useful. The problem with that is in our current situation, our interceptors just don't have the health to really tangle with them. I mean, in more time, they're just going to get more damaged, so... Sort of a drawback. We'll have to consider that project carefully before we do it. I don't want to do any of these projects. We've got everything that's... Well, actually, 9 days for advanced pulse lasers. Interesting, but I still think it's probably too long. Probably the most tempting thing there, actually, is plasma weapons, but that's 15 days. I don't really like the looks of that. So let's do some interrogations. You know what? Let's interrogate this thing. We should probably do a Seeker autopsy, actually. That thing's got to be getting pretty ripe. I mean, we've had Seeker corpses on file for a good long while. They got to be pretty close to going over. I mean, it's like that 4-day-old potato salad. They may still be good for what you're planning to do with them, but you're going to have to do it quick, or otherwise you're going to have to toss them out. So let's start this autopsy.
Despite its physical appearance,
and it's nice to see that Dr. Valent's precognitive abilities are still in full effect, and that she's giving us the results of the autopsy before it's actually completed.
Metallic composition that somehow interacts with the vapors it releases for concealment.
So it's a robot. Well, thanks, Dr. Valen. I'm glad you were there to tell us that it was a robot. We were actually pretty well certain that they were robots before you filled us in with that gripping research, but I appreciate your efforts, even though they were pretty pointless. At least you're trying, Dr. V. At least you're trying. So back to scanning then.
Contact detected.
Alright, we have a small UFO over Brazil. We're definitely going to intercept this, and it looks like we just have Lawn Dart. Alright, Lawn Dart. I want to say you're our ace pilot, but with only 5 kills, I can't really call you an ace, but you're definitely ace of South America. I mean, that's something. Sort of like being king of the dipshits, but I guess in the land of the blind, the man with one eye truly is king. So congratulations on your promotion, I guess. Please just don't get blown into chunks. Shoot this thing down. Good enough, actually, with that bounty. We're going to make use of that cash for the bounty, actually, immediately. Because I was so excited about getting the research, I actually forgot to go build a Firestorm. So let's actually take a look at that and see what we're going to need to do to get one under construction. So, a Firestorm, we need... Wow, those take a lot of materials. I mean, we have everything that we need, except for the cash. So it's off to the gray market then, and I have been hoarding corpses against just such an occurrence. It'll be nice to see these coming along and finally getting some use here. 37 sectoid corpses. We're going to get rid of 7 of those. I have 10 sectoid commander corpses, wow. 39 floater corpses. Let's get rid of, let's say, 9 of those. 45 thin man. Those actually get used in dodge modules, so I'm going to kind of hang on to some of those. Probably have way more mutons than we need. Get rid of 9 mutons.
We don't have the resources to go off on a wild goose chase.
Probably more berserkers than I really need. Chrysalids, not much of a call for them at all. I'm actually not sure chrysalids are useful for anything. 69 drone wrecks. Now, they are a component, but 69 is more than I'm ever going to build. I honestly don't have anywhere close to enough meld to build intercept modules for those, so we can afford to splash a few. Anything else that's going to be useful here? Anything else that we can afford to get rid of? I have 21 mechtoid cores. Doesn't really seem like I'm going to need all those. So what's that? 229.
I wonder if it was all worth it. For the aliens, I mean.
That should put us close enough. Yeah, there we go. So we've hit our goal then. Congratulations, folks. The pledge drive is over. We've hit our goal. Successfully kickstarted in only 5 days our Firestorm project. So let's start getting it built then. Damn, Skippy gonna manufacture that now. The question is here, Dr. Valen, how long is this gonna take? My current bet is somewhere just south of 2,042 years. 22 days. Well, it's a long time, but it's better than I was guessing, so I can't really be too terribly upset, Dr. Valen. So let's get a few of those 22 days to pass then. Again, we're going to have a covert operation in 4 days. That's not exactly hopeful. Alright, so some new research then. Respirator implant, ghost grenades, chameleon suit, UFO countermeasures project. That just prevents people from being strangled. Not that useful, actually, since occasionally strangling is one of the only things that's kept some of our troopers alive. That would be incredibly useful. We were definitely going to go look at the countermeasures project. Chameleon suit, and not... Ghost grenades are very interesting, actually. Except they cost Illyrium to build, but we do have a pretty ready supply of Illyrium at the moment. So 4 days for a mechtoid autopsy. We're just going to do something that will only take 2 days. Like, let's interrogate a Thin Man. It's been a while since we've sort of let Dr. V off the chain. She hasn't published any snuff footage in a while, and she's getting a little frustrated, both professionally and sexually. So I feel this would probably be the best use of our time, just to provide Dr. Valen a little release, allow her to focus on her work. It's going to increase her research capacity, I have no doubt. Also, the fact that this alien is very human-looking should really turn Dr. V on. Man, sort of a martial pose from that Thin Man. No caterwauling, no crying, no railing against fate. Homeslice just walked straight up to there, stared at the face of his tormentors, gave him a grim glare, and just accepted his fate. It's actually pretty badass. I mean, honestly. Kudos to the Thin Man. That's, yeah. Well done, sir. Well done. Anyway, let's go look at that Foundry project very quickly. Well, it's nice to see that everything is grayed out. That's always good. So UFO countermeasures, what are we short? 180 bucks. Man, that takes a bunch of flight computers. We got the Seeker X, we got, Lord knows we got plenty of weapon fragments. Can I whip up 173 credits without getting rid of some stuff I don't really want to get rid of? Let's take a look. Very exciting episode thus far, guys. We're going to call this episode Black Market Simulator, I guess. We can throw a European games development logo on it and kick it out as shovelware. Should sell like 100,000 copies. Let's get rid of some more Thin Man corpses. Some Muton corpses here. Probably 5 Cyberdiscs Rex we can afford to spare. Weapon fragments. Yeah, let's, you know what? Let's complete most of this with some weapon fragments. Again, I have more than I need. And we actually have plenty of alloys and Illyrium too, so we'll shed just a titch of those. I mean, just a little, just to get to some nice even numbers. And that should give us enough then, so it's back down to the Foundry. And we're going to start that project immediately. Ammo conservation. So, I really want to get ammo conservation as well, but that one's going to have to be tabled in favor of UFO countermeasures, which I feel vastly more important.
I'll let them know you've got another project.
Yeah, boy howdy, they're real busy. I gave them a project that's going to take them a week. So, shit, man. Better hire some more guys. Oh, hey, Bono is, well, he's paid his dues. I mean, granted, he shoved an unwanted album on all of our iTunes, but, well, he's performed his penance. Just a simple amputation of all of his arms and legs. And now he's ready to get into service for us. So let's go take a look and see how his stats came out. Ah, you're a bitter, bitter fucking disappointment, Bono. Bitter, bitter disappointment, sir. I mean, this is going to up your aim some, but it's still absolutely atrocious. You are fast. I give you that. That's the one thing you've got going for you, Bono. You are fast. Which is good, because I'm going to be chasing you around the barracks with a hatchet trying to chop your head off. Because I wasted meld on you.
In the armory.
So, yeah. And I'm not sure what the disembodied robot voice is talking about in the armory, but... Anyway, back to scanning then. Let's see if we can pick up an actual mission here before we get this covert. The aliens have been on
take a look at this,
we got a
Commander.
council mission here.
Incoming transmission from the council.
But this is probably going to be a bomb disposal, because it's always a bomb disposal. Oh, nope. It's, ooh, a new support corporal and panic reduction. which is good because panic in Mexico is ridiculously high. So panic reduction is fantastic for us. We are absolutely going to take this one.
Excellent.
This is a mission I will
We
go
look
on with
forward to
gusto
seeing
there,
your progress.
Optimus. I think Optimus is finally catching on to the fact that he didn't say anything about us handling missions with discretion or, you know, anything like that. This time he just said he looks forward to seeing our progress. So maybe he's finally accepted the way things actually are when it comes to this project. So we do have a covert op coming up. We don't necessarily want to take our best troopers, but this mission could be at least somewhat difficult. So we are going to try and take a decent team, if not a fantastic team. And I think Sean No Angel Pen is the right man to lead this particular assault. So we're going to give him the Slim Shady Memorial Slug Slinger, of course, and a little scope, laser sight, some Aegis armor. Sean is ready to go forth and do battle with the aliens as if they were her former wife Robin Wright Pen, which means he should be smacking them down with fervor. Gonna send old Megan Desert Fox as well, and it's gonna be Aegis armor for the Desert Fox. What's our like? Doesn't say. Okay. You know what? I think we'll give Megan Banshee armor. Extractions missions usually have usually take place on like an urban environment where there will be a building or something we could put Megan on top of. That will help give her better line of sight. So it's going to be a scope and an alloy bipod. Megan is then locked, loaded, and ready to roll. We've got a scanner and an infantry guy. Gonna need a scout, and honestly I think Reb... Ooh, wait a minute. Just a moment here. Do we really want to send Reb Brown? Yes, because, okay. I was going to say Jaden Smith is on hand, and we can use him for the Exalt mission if necessary. So let's go ahead and go with the Rebster. Immortal madman himself, Reb Brown, cannot be killed by normal weapons. No man of woman born can slay Reb Brown. That's just the way it goes. And Reb's going to be toting an alloy cannon, a flashbang, and you know what? We are going to give him an arc thrower because it's not completely out of the question that we might have an opportunity for a capture here. And we're going to get an assault trooper to keep Reb company, as is our sort of patented method. Now I see that it's either... Ugh, when's Sir Sidney get out of the hospital? Shouldn't you be about... Alright, 2 days till Sir Sidney's done cooking, so we can't afford to send old Jonathan Keyquan. It looks like Hannah Twerkin Montana is tired at any rate, right? Yeah, alright, so a little bit sleepy still for Miley Cyrus. It's going to be Slick Shoes then who gets the call. Be it Aegis armor, alloy cannon, breaching ammo, of course in case of Muton, bring breaching ammo. And then an arc thrower for Slick Shoes. He's ready, equipped with his pinchers of power, ready to do battle. Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to take a medic, so let's grab, I think, actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf, perhaps? Yeah. I mean, the guy's always brandishing a knife. I see no reason to not send him into battle. For Shia, we're actually going to go with phalanx armor. He's not going to be near the front. Besides, we do need to leave a weakness in case he does turn cannibal on us, and we have to be able to get to his kidneys to shank him. And there is a weakness in the phalanx armor model that fails to cover the kidneys fully, so that does leave Shia shankable. It's going to be a laser rifle, battle scanners, med kits, etc. Standard kit out for Shia LaBeouf. What else do we want here? We've got all our basic roles covered. Could probably use an engineer. He Sung Kang is a little weary. Oh, let's take Kristen 1,000-Yard Stewart. So Kristen, if nothing else, can distract the enemies with her vacant staring. Never fails. Gauss carbine, some grenades then. That's got Kristen Stewart sorted. Now, Kristen's foot speed isn't exactly the best in the world, but, well, when it comes to the old XCOM project, a lot of times we take what we can get. That leaves us with one empty slot. I'm actually considering taking a Rocketeer. For the love of me, I don't know why, but I am considering it. Alternatively, we could take a Sniper. Now, Penelope Cruz, if I take her, that's definitely going to get me punched in the dick, so we're probably going to try and avoid that if at all possible. JCVD is actually... you know what? Let's double up on our mech troopers. That's what we'll do. So we're going to take Lance Corporal Charlie Hunnam, and we're going to give him... I wonder if we can take... We don't want to give him our good suit. What am I, insane? Curious if you could do... we're going to give him the Warden 1. Laser Lance, not a railgun. And then our grenade launcher. Alloy button weapon gyros. Is our other flamethrower done yet? It actually may not even be done. If it's not, we're not going to be able to do this. Not actually taking Tay-Tay. Tay-Tay's going to stay at home. Tay-Tay level... Oh, we do. Can we do 2 flamethrowers? Oh! Oh, Taylor Swift with dual overhead flamethrowers. I gotta say, it fills me with a terrible, terrible kind of glee. I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to waste Tay-Tay on this mission. It shouldn't be that difficult. But oh, that's a delightful feeling. I have an awful, awful joy inside myself. Ashley Olsen is still tired. Dare we? No, I was gonna say, dare we take Bono? Who else is possibly available? There's got to be someone better. There can't not be someone better. Alpha Dog Timberlake, but don't really want to. You know what? Let's take the Drakeinator. Let's take Drake. It's been a while since we've had Drake. Drake has a good movement speed, so it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Gonna have to make items available because Taylor Swift has got all his gear now. We're gonna give him our Mech 2 railgun. Double overhead flamethrower action. Man, that is some sexy shit right there. Drake, if you weren't in a committed relationship, I would seriously consider boning you, buddy. Except for the fact that you're also kind of a despicable piece of trash. And hey, speaking of despicable pieces of trash, what the fuck is up with Only? I mean, it's got like you, Nicki Minaj, and Chris Brown. I mean, half of our barracks actually are featured on that track. It's pretty impressive, but what the shit is that song about, sir? I really would like to know. I mean, mostly it seems to be about you professing the fact that you like thick women, which, I mean, hey, to each his own. I got no problems with that. Nicki Minaj has got an interesting shape, if not something necessarily I totally find hugely desirable. But, Nicki Minaj is technically, like, the author of that track, I guess, or, like, the main artist, but everyone besides her sort of sings. I mean, she doesn't even do the fucking Roman voice. She does half of one verse. And then Chris Brown sings the chorus, and then you come in and talk about how Nikki's in a committed relationship, and you totally want to bone her, but she won't bone you because she's in such a committed relationship. Which, given that her image is sort of gangster skank kind of hip, I don't really see how being in a committed relationship would necessarily stop her from throwing you a bone. I mean,
We're going to be putting
the
down
whole
in
thing is
Mexico
very
for this
confusing. It doesn't have a consistent message. You should really take that one back to the drawing board and consider redrafting the entire song. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm confused by your art, sir. Confused. So let's get Operation Cryptic Shroud started here. Shouldn't all shrouds sort of
The
be
VIP
cryptic?
for this operation
Since they're
goes by the
typically
name of
found in
William
crypts,
Thorne.
it seems like that
He's
would
an
be
influential
sort of
politician
appropriate.
Suspected of collusion with the aliens. We need you to bring him
So if
in
he's
alive
suspected
for
with collusion for the
questioning.
aliens, why is his
Get him to the
reward
Sky
not a
Ranger for
fucking
evac.
bullet in his skull?
Objectives
Why am
updated.
I trying to rescue this bastard at all? Shouldn't I not just be killing him? Because it seems like I should really just be killing him.
This is absurd! Do you honestly think I would turn my back on my country?
Well, I don't know.
am not a traitor, damn it!
Your name's not Quisling, but anything could really happen, I suppose. Why don't you get behind those boxes and hunker down? And then we'll decide if you're a Quisling, in shortly. Also, we're going to get a look down this alley because I am terrified of what may be lurking down it. So, where's my medic? Looking for a medic here. Still looking for a medic. Did I not bring a medic? Pretty sure I brought a medic. Megan Fox. There he is. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Alright, thank you, Shia.
Okay.
Now, please throw a battle scanner down this alley so we can see what the hell is down there. Looks like there's a meld canister down there. That's something.
Eyes in the
So
sky.
up and over. Stalking through the darkness. Hatchet in hand is Shia LaBeouf. And so nothing, huh? Well, of all the things I was expecting, I mean, nothing was on the list, but it wasn't high on the list.
Headed there now.
So let's prepare for a little bit of door breaching action then. Slick shoes, why don't you just step there. Sean Penn to there. Drake, you got dual overhead flamethrowers, buddy. That's, seeing that 6 times on the flamethrower thing really...
Moving to position.
The level of joy that gives me is thoroughly unwholesome. I mean, really, it's
Affirmative. Cover
It's
now.
disturbing. I mean, it's disturbing me, and I'm the one experiencing it, so. 1,000 yards, gonna go on Overwatch. Why don't you hunker down? And that's gonna give old Chuck here a chance to advance. Chuck has kind of a dumpy weapon and not a great ability, also a grenade launcher. On the plus side, he can really chuck those grenades quite a distance. It's apparently the one advantage of an archer, I guess.
Be ready for hostile forces coming your way.
See all the Overwatch there, Central? I was very ready. Very ready. Alright, so thin men then. Oh, there's one right there. Nobody shot at him? Nobody. Okay. I was about to be very upset. Alright, thank you. I was about to be very upset for a moment, but then everyone remembered that we were actually in a combat zone and decided to engage their weapon. Are we at the laundromat again? Man, Exalt's gonna be pissed.
You have no right to do this.
We burned down their laundromat again. Those guys are gonna be real mad. Real mad. Yes, that was precisely what I wanted you to do, Jonathan Keyquan. I didn't want you to maybe open the door and look inside. Tell you, Exalt. You know what? To hell with it. So we don't want to get too terribly aggressive now. We do know we're clear for a reasonable space here, so we are going to have old Drake just sort of mosey on forward. And we are going to take this pretty slow.
On Overwatch.
Thorn, what to do with you? Well, I don't want you anywhere near that truck, because if history has taught me anything, it's that truck explodes at a moment's notice. I mean, apparently its cargo consists of oily rags and old paint. Wouldn't hurt to have the Desert Fox in a good firing position, and we did give the Desert Fox a grappling hook specifically for this reason, actually. But let's have her grapple up. Fling her up there. What do you got? Can you see anything? Any aliens? Any movement? Whole lot of nothing? Whole lot of nothing. Alright then.
Heading to that
Why don't you advance to there then, and we would have you hunker down, but I don't really see a need since there are no enemies.
That's affirmative.
Charlie Hunnam's going to advance, go on Overwatch for the Hunster.
Scanning.
And we're going to take just a quick advance with old McBeef as well, just to get him away from the more explodey bits of that truck. Immortal Madman Red Brown is going to advance and use Drake for cover. And Overwatch is probably good. What to do with old Thorn here is the question. I don't really want him near the truck. Let's just have him advance this way. This should get us another pop, and you're going to hunker down, sir. Should get us another pop of
wave of X-rays closing on your location. Eyes up.
incoming thin men here. Now, we do have eyes up high, so we should be getting some pretty good vision on anything that might be up in the air. And so we've got an overwatching thin man that has a flank shot on our gunner, but I have every confidence.
I will not speak to anyone until I'm given proper legal representation.
Nobody asked you anything. Just keep your mouth shut. We're just going to have our gunner go ahead and do their gunning job and
Moving to position.
murder some thin men. So again, very narrow advance here. Now we are going to have a little catch-up action from Sean Penn and Jonathan. I bizarrely decided to play hop, skip, and jump.
On the
E.
move.
Quan, not sure entirely what he was up to, but
Heading there
Drake's
now.
going to head up next to this dumpster. Thorn, we're not ready to move you yet. Drake, you go on Overwatch.
Moving to Overwatch.
Reb, why don't you take cover behind, I don't know, whatever that gray smoking object is. Seems like that's not necessarily the best thing one could possibly take cover behind, but that's okay. McBeef, you can cover that door. Thorn, why don't you hunker down right behind McBeef? And that'll be good. So go on Overwatch there, McBeef. Overwatch for Red Brown.
Enemy forces headed your way, straight
And
one.
based on a
Get
level
ready.
of resistance we've seen thus far, I'm kind of wondering if maybe we didn't overcommit to this mission. I mean, we've seen 2 thin men so far. That's it. Overcommitment, by the way, sorry, I got distracted by my own comment. There we go. Alright. Overcommitment is the title of Kristen Stewart's next poem. Of course, noted poet Kristen Stewart. She is bucking for the Poet Laureate.
Nailed him.
And you sure
Target
did.
Still in play.
Bucking for the Poet Laureate post of the United States. Now, that's going to be a tough gig because the current Poet Laureate is pretty solid, but we have every confidence that Kristen Stewart and her fine lyrical stylings are certain to seize the initiative and take that title. Gonna Overwatch. No, Angel.
Moving to
Take cover
position.
behind that stack of crates. You can go on Overwatch, buddy. You're actually pretty good at Overwatch there. Once again, we'll move the Drakester forward. And I gotta say, we've really not encountered much resistance.
Reloading weapons.
A little bit of reload there.
Heading to that
Kristen
location.
Stewart's gonna go around the dumpster,
Come get some.
where most of her poetry needs to be. Not saying that your work is bad, Kristen, except for fuck. Never mind. I'm saying it's bad.
Copy that.
I'm actually straight up just gonna say it. Your poetry is terrible.
Roger.
I mean, it's
Got my eyes ready to rock.
it's a potentially
Come get
available to be get you prosecuted in The Hague for fucking war crimes. I mean, it's really, really, really just soul-wrenchingly awful. It's like having broken glass shoved in your eyes. That's what I would equate your poetry to, Kristen. You know what, Jonathan Keyquan? Why don't you take a look in there for us, buddy? Anything in there? No? All right, then.
Position confirmed.
Go ahead and advance, then. Just keep the Overwatch up.
I feel, Commander.
I gotta feel Megan Fox is in an excellent position here to really keep us covered. Not that she's on Overwatch or anything, but she did kill a man last turn. We do have some forces coming in through the laundry.
They're moving around the side.
Now, it's more around the back, actually, but I appreciate the warning nonetheless. I mean, noble intentions. Alright, so 71% chance then for Megan. Let's take that. And yet another kill for the Foster. Megan Fox really racking up the heat. And things are still pretty good, going pretty well here.
Will do.
Aliens taking a come one at a time approach for us, and I gotta say,
Enemy spotted.
it's really working to our benefit, much more so than the aliens. Alright, so we have a navigator. I don't know what that guy was hoping to
Flanking my
accomplish.
position.
We are going to have Sean Penn take a shot here. Now, he did move, so I think probably it's best to go ahead and rapid fire. It's going to get one hit almost for certain, and with a little luck, which we didn't get, but it could have produced 2 hits without too terribly much difficulty.
Heading
And here's a chance for the Drakester to make use of dual overhead flamethrowers and really put a hurting on these 2 guys.
Fired up.
Yeah, you fire it up, that's right. So we're going to have some panic thin men. And they should be dashing about like chickens sans head. Should keep them busy for quite a while. Interesting personal note, by the way. I once chased a chicken without a head through a cornfield for almost a mile. Was pretty impressive from the... Pretty impressive piece of poultry, of course. Now, it didn't save him from the dinner plate, because he did get eaten, but it was quite an epic chase, I gotta say.
Overwatch.
For, you know, considering that one of the participants didn't have a head, it was a pretty impressive piece of running on the part of the chicken.
Moving to fire
Always felt kind of
position.
bad about eating him, actually. This is interesting.
Got
So we're
it.
going to have
Moving.
Slick Shoes dash in here. I don't expect... there should just be this one thin man. Now, we do have a capture attempt there, but I'm not going to take that unless I can get at least one other unit that has a reasonable chance of killing that guy in the event that Slick Shoes capture fucks up. So 78% with a flush shot from Reb Brown. I'm pretty comfortable that that can get the job done. Oh, Jonathan Keyquan run and gun. Never mind, the capture is going nowhere. Jonathan Keyquan's just going to shoot him in the head. Sorry, Johnny, I forgot you ran and gunned. There really needs to be a better word for that. I'm sorry you run and gunned. Just doesn't sound right.
All over it.
But then again, you can't say ran and gan because, well, that's not a fucking word. So, I don't know.
I've got my eyes on.
Seems like I leave that to the mod makers. Please come up with a more reasonable way to say that. The past tense of a run and gun. What is that?
Roger, I've got my eyes on.
I mean, it should be run and gunned, really, but again, it just feels wrong. Like run and gunned. Like a 4-year-old making regularization errors over here. And a thin man just grievously wounded himself by leaping through a plate glass window, which, I gotta say, Hollywood proclivities aside, jumping through plate glass windows is a real fucking shitty idea. It's gonna get you seriously, seriously injured. today's public service announcement. Don't jump through fucking plate glass windows. There you have it. Brought to you by the XCOM Council. Safe XCOMing for all. I'm guessing that was probably some flaming guys. And you know what, Chuck?
Position.
I think this is a good opportunity for you to maybe employ one of those grenades you're so fond of and possibly get yourself a kill. Could this be Gypsy Danger's first official kill? Gypsy Danger delivers. I mean, just freaking barely delivers, so wasn't really that impressive, but Gypsy did get the job done. Is there any way we could possibly move you to a useful spot without having you just plow face first through a pile of acid? And the answer is no.
Position confirmed.
Jonathan Keyquan, apparently fast, but not wise. That guy is panicked, and that being said, I'm still going to take this shot, even though it's terrible. And Jonathan Keyquan delivers, making yet another cloud of acid that he will have a terrible, terrible time navigating around on the next turn. So, got that to look forward to. Kristen Stewart, please. Thank you. Hey,
I'm on,
Kristen.
Commander.
Why don't you show Charlie Hunnam how grenades actually work? And I'd like to point something out to you, Charlie Hunnam. You're being educated by Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart, S. So just let that sink in. Just kind of take a moment and absorb that. Kristen Stewart is showing you how to do your job. Kristen Stewart.
X-ray spotted.
That's right, Kristen Stewart. Once again, I'm just going to say it, Kristen Stewart, because I really feel that it merits repeating unto a nauseating number of times. And we should be able to get a kill here with Megan Desert Fox. Yeah, this is a can't miss shot. That's a dead Thin Man right there. Oh, surprising. Thin Man actually survived. I'm guessing he won't live a second time? Nope. So Johnny Thin Man there had enough for one go-round, but didn't quite have the gumption to get her done twice. You know what? I'm going to take 181% shot here instead of the rapid fire just to conserve some ammo. Also, that guy was badly wounded enough that I was reasonably certain that that shot would finish him. Now, Drake is not going to be able to do a whole lot for us here. We may actually have Drake go chase down that last Thin Man. We're going to actually move Drake out in the open here into the street. Alright, so he has 2 flank shots. That guy is still panicked, so we're not going to worry about him. We're going to take the flank shot here instead. Not a good shot, not a kill, but reasonable damage from Drake. Again, Drake, his weaponry isn't exactly well suited for dealing with fleshy enemies, or designed for robots and somewhat harder targets. Thin Men do not have grenades, so we don't have to really worry about anybody getting grenaded in this situation. Can we cover both Charlie? Yeah, we're going to cover Charlie and Drake with a Shia LaBeouf smoke grenade then. Shia LaBeouf, actual cannibal, likes to smoke his meat before indulging. It's just well, it's just a little peccadillo of his. He really prefers to smoke beef. Also, I don't know how Shia LaBeouf's grenade exploded that truck, but I'm certainly glad that no one was near the truck when it exploded. And William Thorne can take another turn to sort of hunker down. I'm actually worried about a bunch of these guys jumping up on the roof and getting up in Megan Fox's grill. That would not go well for us, actually. And so an acid spit. Now, acid does affect our mech troopers. We do need to keep an eye on that. I'm guessing this is going to be a shot at Drake. Yeah. Drake's probably going to get shot at quite a bit here, but that's why we deployed the smoke. That's why we brought McBeef. This is just his thing.
Minimal exterior damage detected.
You know what? At 2 damage a pop, these Thin Men got quite a long row to hoe. That's going to take a while, fellas, if you're going to have to do it 2 damage at a time.
Minimal damage detected.
Okay, 3 damage. That's a little better. Maybe I should stop taunting you? It seems like I'm only encouraging you to do more damage.
Enemy fire on my
I'm just going to be quiet now. But seriously, chipping away at him 2 damage at a time, that's going to take a long time to carve that ice sculpture. Just keep that in mind. Another car exploding. Apparently Hollywood physics are in effect when it comes to the vehicle components, and that they all have the Hollywood gas tank problem. And look at that, a bunch of guys grouped up just wonderfully for a little bit of Kristen Stewart grenade action. So, Kristen, what do you say? This is not going to get you any kills, actually, but that's okay. This is going to expose a bunch of guys. Actually, damn near did get you a kill, which is impressive, sort of, in and of itself. Old Slick Shoes here. He would be flanked there by what? We may revisit Slick Shoes in a minute. Sean Penn has shots from here, so we're going to go ahead and take those. That's one kill for Sean Penn, and then he's going to be reloading.
Resupply.
Yep. Go ahead and reload, Sean. Now, Drake has a flank shot. We're not actually overly concerned about that, gentlemen. Drake was not bathed in acid, unlike his counterpart, Charlie Hunnam. So we're going to advance old Drake here. 71, 82... We just want to make sure we get a kill here. Boy, that's not a good hit percent. Let's go ahead and kill this guy. Well, you missed and almost killed the guy behind him, but came up with neither, so
Reconfiguring.
not exactly wonderfully done. I know we have at least one more turn of panic from
Heading to that location.
our friendly neighborhood thin man back there that got hit by Drake's flamethrower. So we're going to bring Nicki Minaj down here. She's going to hunker down. Next turn, she can open up on the interior of that building. Now, Charlie Hunnam did get hit by acid. I'm not sure if he suffers the whole I panic because of the acid thing of his compatriots. But we're going to chance it. I'm curious how this mechanic works, and this will be a good chance to test it out. Okay, so Charlie does not take damage from the acid. And he is going to be able to get a kill here as well. Also eliminate some cover. The second kill for Hunnam. That's 2. Thorn, why don't you advance and continue your whole I'm gonna hunker down. Also, I really like the fact that I'm making you hunker down next to a dumpster. So, hey, enjoy the smell of those leftover coffee grounds, considering this is a coffee shop. I really hope you like Starbucks Summer Blend, because you're going to be smelling quite a bit of it. Sorry. That's a lie. I'm actually not sorry, even a little. Alright, so we're going to bank on the fact that this thin man is still panicked. And we will not take a shot. That actually was a dash move. We're going to overwatch here, I think, with McBeef. Does he not have it? McBeef does not have a shot. Alternatively, we could throw... You know what? Let's throw smoke at Charlie Hunnam. Let's just make sure everyone is perfectly safe. We'll get a little bit of smoke here. And this is going to just draw fire to Drake, which is fine. Drake can take it. Man knows how to handle a beating. I mean, people have been picking on that guy his whole career.
Stay alert, Strike One.
He knows how to deal with criticism, be it plasma-inspired or verbal. That guy's still panicked. Oh, little problem there. He's actually not injured enough to capture, which is what I was sort of hoping to try. McBeef with a nice Overwatch hit there. I'm guessing we're probably going to get some acid. Yeah. Oh, nope, gonna take a shot at Drake. And miss. So things not going too well for Team Thin Man. And I gotta say, once again, I sort of feel as though I've overcommitted. It's 2 missions in a row where I'm... Oh, drop in. Somebody with some Overwatch here? No? Okay. But once again, I sort of feel that I've possibly overcommitted. I'm gonna revisit you in a moment. Sean Penn, we would like for you to kill that man. Murder him, please. Thank you. Nicely done. Also, what's your other shot? Okay, this is exactly what we needed, Sean Penn. We want you to do just enough damage to wound this guy. But we're going to take... We need a 3/4% chance to hit. One of these is... Oh, you missed twice. Okay, then. Well, that was... probably should have just took the one higher percentage shot, but... was going for the statistical probability and didn't really pan out for me. Gonna have Megan Fox miss.
Adjusting sights.
Yeah. Is it really a double tap when the first shot missed? That was not what I meant to do, actually. I wanted her to shoot at the same target she shot at last time. That's gonna kill him. We may have to have someone try and come pistol that guy. Possibly Kristen Stewart. This really seems like a job for Reb Brown, to be perfectly honest. Go draw out that Overwatch for us, Reb. Yeah, the Overwatch. Thank you. Get to it. I know you can't be killed by mortal weapons, and you weren't even for a second afraid of that. Also, if the film Space Mutiny has taught us anything, it's that a moving Reb round literally cannot be hit by a projectile weapon. Simply, projectiles do not work against a Reb round in motion. It's the Newton's fourth law of physics, actually. A Reb round in motion cannot be interacted with by an outside force. It's just the way it goes. Newton actually coined that law in what's later been known as his drunken frat boy phase. Still, it's a valid law of the universe. And you should simply accept it without giving it a great deal of thought. So, McBeef? Can you pistol this guy, maybe? What's your hit percent like with the pistol, McBeef? I'm gonna guess bad. Yeah. It's not necessarily surprising. Well, let's move you to here just to see if we can get you a little better pistol shot. And then why don't you go ahead and take that pistol shot. A little better. Well, it's enough for a capture attempt. And I think that might be our only pistol. Yeah, anybody else who we can get in range is just going to straight up kill the guy. So let's have old Slick Shoes take a shot. Go for the stun, Slicky.
99.
Well, that failed. Not necessarily surprising because, shit, I'd be more... I'm only surprised when stuns work, not when they fail. Failure is the default setting for a stun, despite the fact that they almost always have a better than 50% chance to work.
Not feeling so good.
Well, that would be because Charlie Hunnam just bathed you in acid, so it seems reasonable that you might feel at least a little under the weather, sir.
Eyes peeled, Commander.
Pretty reasonable, actually. We're going to advance Thorn, then, and once again, he's going to hunker down, and he should be simply one turn away from an escape. And I gotta say, I'm really actually quite feeling that we overcommitted on this mission. I really do. So go ahead and hunker down, Slick Shoes. Thorn, why don't you beat a hasty retreat here?
Where are you
And
taking
there
me?
we go.
I demand answers.
I'm taking you to XCOM headquarters, which is what I told you when I landed. So, I mean, you shouldn't be overly surprised. Also, I don't understand your hatred for us as XCOM. I mean, we did just rescue you from a whole shitload of thin men, despite the fact that you're an alien fucking sympathizer. So it seems like you should be a little nicer to us, sir. We do have an interrogation room back at headquarters that we use for aliens, but there's nothing that says we can't use it on you, and I know Dr. Valen would not hesitate to branch out into some human snuff. So, you know, perhaps consider that. I'm just throwing it out there. Make of it what you will.
The engineering crew can live up to the standards set by our troops after a mission like that.
I have no idea what you were trying to say there, Dr. Shen. What does the engineering crew and our troopers have to do with each other at all? The only thing I want you to do is build that fucking firestorm. I mean, seriously, that's your only mandate currently. I hate you, Dr. Shen. So, smoke and mirrors, ranger. It's all support grenades. I believe that applies to actual regular grenades as well. Ranger is not overly useful, really. And we already have a repair unit. We don't... Also, honestly, would you trust Kristen Stewart to repair anything? I guarantee if you had a toaster that was jammed, her immediate response would be to cut the electrical cord. Well, actually, she'd probably chew on the electrical cord. She has a propensity for chewing on scenery items. Probably chew on the electrical cord and just jam a knife down there to try and wedge the toast free in a double electrocution ceremony for herself. So... yeah, I'm just going to give her smoke and mirrors, because if anything, Kristen Stewart is at least a distraction. So, let's go that route. It also gives her +1 mobility, which, let's face it, Kristen Stewart desperately needs. She's not exactly quick, either quick-minded or quick of foot. 14 thin man corpses, some weapon fragments, a single chunk of meld. And we did get a new support trooper, so bully there. We'll have to come up with a name for that gentleman. But most importantly on this mission, actually... gonna be the panic reduction that we got in Mexico.
We will be watching.
Gonna go check out the situation room, actually, and see how much that reduced it. Quite a bit, actually. So that was easily the most important part of that mission, much more so than anything else we accomplished, was getting Mexico out of the red in the panic zone. That's actually good. If we could potentially survive another terror mission in Mexico, as long as we have a good performance. With those items finished, 1 day to our railgun, and only 3 days out from a covert operation, I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Your support does really mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more daily XCOM, consider subscribing as well. We'll see you again soon.